Entonces, a todos se me a nuestra representación hombre para la ciudad. Robert, good morning to everyone in the United States to our first ever national record. A Man for All Seasons by Robert Moore. This is about the great St. Thomas More. So, please grab a bag of popcorn, relax in your couch at home, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
It is perverse. The thought of play made up of kings and cardinals in speaking costume, and intellectuals with embroidered mouths with me. If a king or a cardinal had done the prologue, he'd have had the right materials. An intellectual would have shown enough colored propositions, majestic meanings, and closely woven liturgical stuff to dress the House of Lords. Me? Is this a costume? Does this say anything? Barely enough to cover one man's nakedness. A bit of black materials reduce old Adam to the common man. Oh, if they'd have let me come on naked, then I could have shown you something of my own. Would have told you without words. Something I've forgotten. Old Adam's muffled up. Well, for a proposition of my own, I need a costume. Matthew, the household steward of Sir Thomas More. There's company for dinner. Butler. 16th century butler. The 16th century is the century of the common man, just like all the other centuries. And that's my proposition. That's my master, Sir Thomas More.
Hello, Matthew. The wine, please.
It's there, Sir Thomas.
Ah. Is it any good?
Bless you, sir, I don't know.
Bless you too, Matthew.
But every man has his price.
No, no, no.
Master Richard Rich.
But yes, in money too.
No, no, no.
Pleasure, women, titles, bricks and mortar, there's always something.
Childish.
Well, and suffering, certainly.
By a man who's suffering.
Impose suffering and offer him escape.
For a moment there, I thought you were being profound.
Evening, Matthew. Evening, sir. No, not a bit profound. Then becomes a merely practical question of how to make him suffer sufficiently.
And who recommended you to read Signor Machiavelli? No, really, who?
Master Cromwell.
He's a very able man.
And so he is.
Yes, I say he is. He's very able.
And he'll do something for me, he says.
I didn't know you knew him.
Pardon me, Sir Thomas, but how much do you know about me?
What have you let me know?
I've let you know everything.
Richard, you should go back to Cambridge. You're deteriorating.
But I'm not used to... Do you know how much I have to show for 7 months' work?
Work?
Work! Waiting's work when you wait as I wait hard. For 7 months, that's 200 days, I have to show the acquaintance of the Cardinal's outer dormant, the indifference of the Cardinal's inner dormant, and the Cardinal's Chamberlain's hand in my chest. Also, half a good morning delivered at 50 paces by the Duke of Norfolk. Doubtless he mistook me for someone.
He was very affable at dinner.
Everyone's affable here. And, of course, the friendship of Sir Thomas More. Or should I say acquaintance?
Say friendship.
Well, a friend of Sir Thomas More and still no office. Must be something wrong with him.
What we said friendship. The Dean of St. Paul's offers you a house with post and £50 a year.
Post? What post?
At the new school.
A teacher?
A man should go where he won't be tempted. Look, Richard. See this? Look. Look.
Beautiful.
It's Italian. Do you want it?
Why?
No joke. Keep it or sell it.
Thank you, of course. Thank you. But
You'll sell it, won't you?
yes, I will.
And buy what?
Some decent clothes. I want some like yours.
You shall get several gowns for that, I should think. It was sent to me a little while ago by some woman. Now she puts a lawsuit into the Court of Requests. It's a bribe, Richard.
Oh, so you give it away, of course.
Yes. I don't need it, and you could use it. Of course, if you feel it's contaminated.
No. I'll risk it.
But Richard, in office they offer you all sorts of things. I was once offered a whole village, with a mill, a manor house, heaven knows what else. A coat of arms, I shouldn't be surprised. Why not be a teacher? You'd be a good teacher. Maybe even a great one.
And if I was, who would know it?
You? Your pupils? God? Not a bad public. Oh, that. And a quiet life.
You say that.
Richard, I was commanded into office. It was inflicted upon me. Can't you believe that?
It's hard.
Be a teacher. Hello, Matthew.
Huh?
Thank you. It appears the Cardinal wants me. Now?
This time of night.
What's the time?
11 o'clock, sir.
Is there a boat?
Waiting, sir.
Margaret! Margaret!
Good evening, Father. Master Rich.
Margaret, my master's lovely daughter.
Margaret, the Cardinal's called me and I must go. And you must go to bed. You'll excuse me, Richard. Dear Lord, give us rest tonight. And if we must be wakeful, cheerful. Careful only for our soul's salvation. For Christ's sake, Amen. And bless our Lord the King.
And bless our Lord the King.
Amen. Well, good night then.
Give it back, Matthew. It's a gift. Sir Thomas gave it to me. He gave it to me.
Very nice present, sir.
Yes.
My master, Sir Thomas More, has taken quite a fancy to you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. That one will come to nothing. My master, Sir Thomas, would give anything to anyone. Some say that's good, and some say that's bad. I say he can't help it, and that's bad. Because someday, someone's going to ask him for something he wants to keep, and he'll be out of practice. There must be something he wants to keep. That's only common sense.
Enter.
Hello, Your Grace.
1:30. Where have you been?
1 o'clock, Your Grace. I've been on the river.
Have you seen so violently opposed to the dispatch for Rome? I thought you'd like to look it over.
Thank you.
Before it goes.
Your Grace is very kind. Thank you.
Well, what do you think of it?
It seems very well phrased.
The devil it does. And apart from the style, Sir Thomas?
It's addressed to Cardinal Campeggio.
Yes.
Not our ambassador?
Our ambassador is Anini.
Your Grace appointed him.
Yes, I need a name in Rome so that I can write to Cardinal Campeggio.
It's devious.
It's a devious situation, Thomas.
There must be something simple in the middle of it.
I believe you believe that. You are constantly great to me, Thomas. If you could just see facts, Platon, with that horrible moral squint, you could have been a statesman.
Your Grace flatters me.
Don't frivol, Thomas. Are you going to help me?
If Your Grace would be more specific.
Oh, you are a problem! Take you all together, Thomas. Your scholarship, your experience. What are you? You look that. What time is it? Look, the king. Where has he been? Do you know?
Ah, Your Grace.
Oh, spare me your discretion. He's playing the mood again. Indeed, indeed. Are you going to oppose me? He's gone in. All right. Well done. The king needs a son. What are you going to do about it?
Very sure the king needs no advice from me on what to do about it.
Thomas, we are alone. I give you my word. It's not one here.
I didn't suppose there was, Your Grace.
Oh, sit down. Thomas, do you favor change the dynasty? Do you think two Tudor is sufficient?
For God's sake, Your Grace!
Then, I repeat, the king needs a son. What are you going to do about it?
I pray for it daily.
God, then, he means it. That thing there out is what at least virtue, Thomas.
But she's not his wife.
Catherine is his wife, but she is a barren as a brick. Are you going to pray for a miracle?
There are precedents.
Pray. Pray by all means. But in addition, prayer is an effort. My effort is to secure a divorce. Have I your support or I have not?
A dispensation was granted so that the king might marry Queen Catherine for state reasons. Now are we to ask the Pope to dispense with his dispensation also for state reasons?
I don't like loading, Thomas. Don't load me longer than I have to. Well?
Then clearly all we have to do is approach His Holiness and ask.
We think my influence His Holiness's answer.
With this?
With that and another ways.
I've already expressed my opinion on this.
All right. Good night. Your cousin is your own affair. But you are a statesman. Do you remember the Yorkist Wars?
Very clearly, Your Grace.
Let him die without an heir. And we'll have that back again. Let him die without an heir. And this piece you like so much of will, this go out like that. Very well then. England needs an heir. Certain measure, perhaps regrettable, perhaps not. Much in the church that need reformation, Thomas. Alright, regrettable, but necessary to get us an heir. Now, explain how you, the Consort of England, can be obstruct those measures for the sake of your own private conscience.
forsake their own private conscience for a matter of public duty, they lead their country on a short route to chaos. We shall have my prayers to fall back on.
You like that? Wouldn't you? They govern the country by prayers.
Yes, I should.
I like to be there when you try. Who puts his neck in this after me? You? Tonto? Suvok?
Tunstall for me.
And for the king? What about my secretary, Master Cromwell?
Cromwell?
You would rather do it yourself.
Me rather than Cromwell?
Then come back to Earth, Thomas. I remember you have an enemy.
Where, your grace?
Here, Thomas!
As your grace wishes.
As God wills. More? You should. Bina. Clear!
Like yourself, your grace. Boat? Boat? A boatman?
Boat here, sir.
Boat?
Boat here, sir.
Boatman, please.
Yes, sir. A boatman.
Take me home.
I was just going home myself, sir.
Then find me another boat.
Bless you, sir. That's all right. I expect you'll make it worth my while, sir.
Boatman, have you a license?
Bless you, sir. Yes, I've got a license.
Then you know that the fares are fixed. Why, Sir Thomas,
Good morning, Master Cromwell. You work very late.
I'm on my way to the Cardinal.
Yes, I've just heard the news. Good morning, Master Cardinal Secretary. If it is a felicity to be busy in the night,
It is.
felicitations then.
I believe you have just come from the Cardinal.
Yes.
You left him in his laughing mood, I hope.
Oh, I would say on the whole, no. Not laughing.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm one of your multitudinous admirers, Sir Thomas. A penny halfpenny to Chelsea, boatman.
Becoming a man, they say so.
Do they? Well, where's your boat?
Just along the wharf, sir.
Sir Thomas More!
Senor Chapuz. You work very late.
So is the Cardinal, Sir Thomas.
Sleeps very little.
You have just left him, I think.
You're correctly informed, as always.
I would not ask you the subject of your conversation.
No.
Sir Thomas. I will play. So much diplomatic the senses permit. My Master Charles, King of Spain. My Master Charles, King of Spain, feels himself concerned by anything concerning his blood relations. The King would feel himself insulted by any insult offered to his mother's sister. I refer, of course, to Queen Caterina. The King would feel himself insulted by any insult offered to Queen Caterina.
His feelings would be natural.
Sir Thomas, may I ask if you and the Cardinal parted, how shall I say, amicably?
Amicably.
In agreement?
Amicably.
Say no more, Sir Thomas. I understand.
I hope you do.
You are a good man.
I don't see how you deduce that from what I've told you.
A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. You are a good man. Dominus vobiscum.
Spirito tuo.
float on their own, sir, but they don't. Cost money. Take anchor rope, sir, for instance. You may not believe me, but for a little skiff like mine, it's a penny a fathom. The young wife, sir, as you know.
I'll pay what I always pay you. The river looks very dark tonight. You say it's silting up. Is that so?
Not in the middle, sir. There's a channel getting deeper all the time.
How's the wife?
Well, she's losing her shape, sir. Losing it fast.
Aren't we all?
Oh, yes, sir. It's common.
Well, take me home.
That I will, sir. Chelsea to Richmond, penny half penny. From Richmond to Chelsea, penny half penny. From Chelsea to Richmond, it's a quiet float downstream. From Richmond to Chelsea, it's a hard pull upstream. But it's a penny, half penny, either way. Whoever makes the regulations doesn't row a boat. Home again.
Matthew?
Sir?
Is the wife in bed?
Yes, sir.
Lady Margaret?
No, sir. Master Roper's here.
At this hour? Who let him in?
A hard man to keep out, sir.
Well, where are they?
I believe they're in the...
Here, Father.
Thank you, Matthew. Hello, William. It's a little early for breakfast.
I haven't come for breakfast, sir.
Will wants to marry me, Father.
Well, he can't marry you.
Sir Thomas, I'm to be called to the bar.
Well, congratulations, Roper.
My family may not be at the palace, sir, but in the city.
The Ropers were advocates when the Moors were selling pewter. There's nothing wrong with your family. There's nothing wrong with your fortune. There's nothing wrong with you. Except you need a clock.
I can buy a clock, sir.
Roper, the answer's no. And will be no, so long as you're a heretic.
That is a word I don't like, Sir Thomas.
It's not a likable word. It's not a likable thing.
The church is heretical. Dr. Luther proved that to my satisfaction.
Luther's an excommunicate.
From a heretic church? Church? It's more like a shop. Forgiveness by the florin. Job lots now in Germany. Oh, and divorces.
Divorces.
Yes, half England's buzzing with that.
Half England. The Inns of Court may be buzzing. England does not buzz so easily.
Oh, it will. And is that a church? Is that a bishop? Is that the Pope or the Antichrist? Look what I know I'll say.
You've no sense of place.
There's no sense of time. William, 2 years ago you were a passionate churchman. Now you're a passionate Lutheran. We must pray that when your head's finished spinning, your face is to the front again.
Don't lengthen your prayers with me, Sir Thomas.
One more or less. Is your horse here?
No, I walked.
Then get one from the stables and get going. Go along now.
May I come again?
Yes, soon.
Good night, sir.
Is that final, Father?
Meg, as long as he's a heretic, that's absolute. Nice boy. Terribly strong principles, though. I thought I told you to go to bed.
Yes, why?
Because I intended you to go to bed. Very pensive.
You're rather jolly. Did the Cardinal talk about the divorce?
You know, I think we've been on the wrong track with Will. It's no use arguing with a Roper.
Father, did he?
Old Roper was just the same. Make him think that he's swimming with the current and he'll turn right around and start swimming upstream. What we really want is a substantial attack on the church.
We're going to get it, aren't we?
Margaret, I'll not have you talk treason. Will not have you repeat lawyer's gossip. I'm a lawyer myself. I know what it's worth.
Well, Matthew was talking about you as Chancellor before you left. Would you want to be Chancellor?
No.
That's what I said, but Matthew said if Wolsey fell...
If Wolsey fell, it would swamp a few small boats like our own. There will be no new chancellors while Wolsey lives.
Whether we follow tradition in describing Wolsey's death to a broken heart, or accept Professor Lockham's misleading diagnosis of pulmonary pneumonia, its effective cause was the king's pleasure. He died at Leicester on the 29th of November 1530, while on his way to the Tower under charge high treason. England's next Lord Chancellor was Sir Thomas More, a scholar, and by popular repute, a saint. His scholarship is supported by his writing. Saintliness is a quality less easy to establish, but from his willful indifference to realities which were obvious to quite ordinary contemporaries, it seems all too probable that he had it. I don't claim to know anything about scholarliness. It takes one to know it. Will say he looks like one, though. And I'll also say he looks like a saint. People in power never seem to be able to see that. The common man does. Not uncommon, that. Sir Thomas was visited by His Royal Highness, our Lord King Henry VIII, to try to get an answer of support out of him regarding the divorce of his wife. But Sir Thomas, firm, as he always was, denied that. A villain to the powerful, a saint to the common. All of this past, then, let us proceed. Sir Thomas!
Oh no. What is it, William?
William, I told you not to.
Meg, I'm not easily told.
I asked you not to.
Meg, I'm full up to here.
It's not convenient.
Must everything be convenient? I'm not a convenient man. I've got an inconvenient conscience, Meg.
Joshua's trumpet. One note on that brass conscience of yours and my daughter's walls are down.
And you raised her, sir.
Yes? Have you been here long? Are you in the king's party?
No, sir. I'm not in the king's party. And it's of that I wish to speak to you. My spirit is perturbed.
Is it, Will? Why?
I've been offered a seat in the next parliament. Ought I to take it?
No. Well, that depends. With your views on the church, I thought a seat in the next parliament might do you a lot of good.
My views on the church, Sir Thomas, since last we met, have somewhat changed. I modify nothing concerning the body of the church. The tax collectors in the temple must be scourged from thence with a scourge of fire, if it is needed. But an attack on the church herself? No. I see behind that an attack on God.
Roper!
The devil's word.
Roper!
To be done by the devil's ministers.
For God's sake, remember my office.
Oh, if you stand on your office.
I don't stand on it, but there are certain things I may not hear.
Sophistication. It's what I was told. You're no longer the man you once were, Sir Thomas. The court has corrupted you. You have learned to study your convenience. You have learned to flatter.
Master Rich is here, Sir Thomas.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Thomas.
Good evening, Master Rich.
Lady Margaret.
Good evening, Master Rich.
Do you know William Roper the Younger?
By reputation, of course.
Oh, Master Master...
Rich.
Oh! Oh!
You've heard of me?
Yes? In what connection? I don't know what you could have heard. I feel that I'm not welcome here.
Richard, is there anything you have done that should make you not welcome?
Do you suspect me of it?
I shall begin to.
Cromwell is asking questions. He's collecting information about you particularly.
Matthew, stay a minute.
That's one of his sources.
Yes, that's one of my servants.
Senor Chapuis, the Spanish ambassador.
Collects information too. That's one of his functions.
You look at me as though I were an enemy.
Why, Richard, you're shaking.
I'm adrift. Help me.
How?
Employ me?
No.
Employ me!
No!
I would be steadfast.
Richard, you couldn't even answer so far as tonight.
Arrest him!
For what?
He's dangerous. For libel. He's a spy.
Father, that man's bad.
There's no law against that.
Yes, there is. God's law.
Then God can arrest him.
Sophistication upon sophistication.
No! Sheer simplicity. The law, Roper. The law. I know what's legal, not what's right. And I'll stick to what's legal.
While you speak, he goes.
And go he should if he were the devil himself till he broke the law.
So now you give the devil the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, what would you do? Cut a road through all the laws in England to get after the devil?
I'd cut down every law to do that in England.
Oh? When the devil turned round on you, what would you do, Roper? The laws all being flat? This country's planted thick with laws from coast to coast. Man's laws, not God's. And if you cut them down, and you're just the man to do it, do you really think you could stand upright in the winds that would blow then? Yes, I'd give devil the benefit of the law for my own safety's sake.
I've long suspected this, Sir Thomas. This is the golden calf. The law is your God.
Oh, Roper, you're a fool. God's my God, but I find him rather subtle. Don't know where he is or what he wants.
My God wants service. To the end and unremitting, nothing else.
You sure that's God? Sounds like Moloch. But indeed, it may be God. And whoever hunts for me, Roper, God or devil, will find me hiding in the thickets of the law. And I'll hide my daughter there with me, not hoist her up the mainmast of your seagoing principles. They put about you nibbling.
Oh, that was harsh.
What does he mean? Hide you from what?
I don't know, but he's gotten rather subtle since this divorce came up.
Roper. That was harsh. Your principles are excellent. The very best quality. No, truly now, your principles are fine. Why don't you join us for dinner?
Father, can't you be plain with us?
I stand on the wrong side of no statute and no common law. I've not disobeyed my sovereign. I truly believe no man in England is safer than myself. And I want my dinner. There's an excellent burgundy if your principles permit.
They don't, sir.
Well, have a little water in it.
Just the water.
My poor boy. Thank you, Matthew.
Why does Cromwell collect information about you?
I'm a prominent figure. Someone somewhere else is collecting information about Cromwell. And no more shirking. We must make a start. Will, I trust you with my life, but not your principles. You see, we speak of being anchored to our principles. But if the weather turns nasty, then we up with anchor and let down where there's less wind, and the fishing's better. And look, we say, look, I'm anchored to my principles.
He's a deep one. That Sir Thomas More. Deep. Takes a lot of education to get a man as deep as that. And a deep nature to begin with, too. The likes of me can hardly be expected to follow the processes of a man like that. Can we? Right. Ready. Ready, sir.
Innkeeper, is this a good place for a conspiracy?
You asked for a private room, sir.
Yes. I want one without too many little dark corners.
I don't understand you, sir. Just the four corners, as you see.
You don't understand me.
That's right, sir.
Do you know who I am?
No, sir.
Don't be too tactful, innkeeper.
Sorry, sir. I just don't understand you.
When the likes of you are too tactful, the likes of me begin to wonder who's the fool.
I just don't understand you.
The master statesman of us all. I don't understand. All right, get out. Come on. Yes, maybe that I'm a little intoxicated, but not with alcohol. I have a strong head for that. With success. And who has a strong head for success? None of us gets enough of it these days. Except kings, and they're born drunk.
Success? What success?
Yes.
Collector of revenues for York.
You do keep your ear to the ground, don't you? No.
What then?
Sir Thomas Paget is retiring.
Secretary to the council.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
One sees it's logical.
No ceremonies, no courtship. He sees it. As His Majesty would say, yes, Rich, see how I trust you.
I would never report or repeat a thing like that.
What kind of thing would you repeat or report?
Nothing said in friendship. May I say friendship?
If you like. Do you believe that? That you would never repeat or report anything, etc.?
Yes.
No, Rich, seriously.
Why, yes.
Rich, seriously?
Would depend on what is offered.
Everyone knows it. Not many people can say it.
Surely there are things one wouldn't do for anything.
And ideas like these principles they have on the embankment. Comforting, but you don't expect to have to use them. Well, congratulations.
On what?
I think you'd make a good collector of revenues for York Diocese.
Is this part of your gift?
It will be.
What do I have to do for it?
Nothing. It isn't like that, Rich. There are no rewards. With rewards and penalties, so much wickedness purchases so much prospering purchases so much wickedness in this world. No. It's much more a matter of convenience. Administrative convenience. The normal aim of administration is to keep steady this factor of convenience. And Sir Thomas More would agree. Now, normally, when a man wants to change his woman, you allow him if it's convenient and prevent him if it's not. Normally, indeed, it's of so little importance that you leave it to the priests. But the constant factor is this element of convenience.
Whose convenience?
Oh, ours, but everybody's too. However, in the present instance, the man who wants to change his woman's is our sovereign Lord Harry, by the grace of God, the eighth of that name. Which is a quaint way of saying that if he wants to change his woman, he will. So that becomes a constant factor. And our job as administrators is to make it as convenient as we can. Now, I I say our job on the assumption that you'll take this post at York I've offered you.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's a bad sign when people are depressed by their own good fortune.
I'm not depressed.
You look depressed.
I'm lamenting. I've lost my innocence.
You lost that some time ago. If you've only just noticed, it can't have been very important to you.
That's true, isn't it? That's true, it can't.
Yes, we experience a sense of relief, do we, Master Rich? An unfamiliar freshness in the head as of open air.
Collector of revenue's not bad.
Not bad for a start. Now, our present Lord Chancellor, there's a missing man.
The odd thing is, he is.
Yes, I say he is. The trouble is, his innocence is tangled in the proposition that you can't change your woman without a divorce, and can't have a divorce unless the Pope says so. And although his present holiness is, judged even by the most liberal standards, a strikingly corrupt old person, this quite a meaningless circumstance, I fear some degree of...
Administrative inconvenience.
Just so. Now, this goblet that he gave you, how much was it worth? Come along, Rich. He gave you a silver goblet. How much did you get for it?
Shillings.
Could you take me to the shop?
Yes.
Where did he get it? It was a gift from a litigant. A woman, wasn't it?
Yes.
Which court? Chancery? Oh, don't get drunk. Which court was this litigant's case?
Court of requests.
There. That wasn't too painful, was it?
No.
It'll be much easier next time.
What application do they have? These tidbits of information you collect?
None at all, usually.
But sometimes?
Well, there are these men, you know, upright, steadfast men, who want themselves to be the constant factor in the situation, which of course they can't be. The situation rolls forward in any case.
So what happens?
If they have any sense, they get out of his way.
And if they haven't any sense?
What? None at all? Well, then they're only fit for heaven. But Sir Thomas has plenty of sense. He could be frightened.
Don't forget he's an innocent, Master Cromwell.
All right. I think we'll finish here for tonight. After all, he is the Lord Chancellor.
You won't find him easy to frighten. You've mistaken your man this time. He doesn't know how to be frightened.
Doesn't know how to be frightened. Well, then he never put his hand in a candle, did he?
You enjoyed that. You enjoyed that.
finest flower of our island, genius for compromise, that system peculiar to these shores, the despair of foreign observers, that which deflects the torrents of religious passion down the canals of moderation. Very well put. Typically, this great effect was achieved not by bloodshed, but by the simple act of tolerance. Only an unhappy few were bound to set themselves against the current of their time. And in so doing, of course, that. For we are dealing with an age less fastidious than our own. Imprisonment without trial, and even examination under torture, were common practice.
Will, must you wear those clothes?
Yes, I must.
Why?
The time has come for decent men to pledge their allegiance.
To whom?
My allegiance to the church. Wouldn't you say I look a little bit like a Spaniard? And I say all credit to Spain.
You wouldn't have lasted 6 months in Spain, Rover. You'd been burned alive during your heretic period.
I suppose you'd have the right to remind me of it. That chain of office of yours is a degradation.
The bishops in convocation submitted this morning. I'll take it off. It's no degradation. Great men have worn this.
When do you expect to hear from the bishops?
About now. I was promised an immediate message.
I don't see what difference convocation can make. The church is already a wing of the palace, is it not? The king is already its supreme head, is he not?
No.
You're denying the act of supremacy.
No. The act states that the king is the head of
The church in England, the supreme head.
That the king is the supreme head of the Church of England so far as the law of God allows. How far the law of God allows remains a matter of opinion because it's not directly stated in the act.
A legal quibble.
Call it what you want. It's there. Thank God.
Our God thanks you.
Oh, Father, Senor Chapuis is to see you.
Senor Chapuis, do you require me? What, Your Excellency?
May I not come simply to pay my respects to the English Socrates, as I see your angelic friend Erasmus calls you?
Yes, I'll presently find something to call my friend Erasmus. Socrates? I've no taste for hemlock if that's what you require.
Heaven forbid!
Amen.
Must I require anything? After all, we are brothers in Christ, you and I.
Characteristic we share with the rest of humanity. William, Spanish ambassador is here on business. Would you mind?
My lord, I cannot believe you will allow yourself to be associated with the recent actions of King Henry in respect of Queen Caterina.
Subjects are associated with the actions of kings willy-nilly.
The Lord Chancellor is not an ordinary subject. He bears responsibility for what is done.
Have you thought that what might have been done badly could have been done worse under a different chancellor?
Believe me, my lord, your influence in these policies has been much sought and praised. But there comes a point when the sufferings of one unfortunate lady swell to an open attack on the religion of an entire country. And beyond that point, Sir Thomas, one is corrupted truly.
What do you want?
Rumor has it that if the church in convocation will submit to the king, you will resign. And I would approve it heartily.
Why?
Because it would show one man unable to go further with this wickedness.
That man being Chancellor of England, too.
Believe me, my lord, such a signal would be seen and understood.
Signal?
Yes, my lord. It would be seen and understood by men. You see, I have just returned from Yorkshire
And Northumberland, where I have made a tour.
Have you indeed?
Yes, my lord, things are very different there.
We are ready for resistance.
Resistance? By what means? By force of arms?
We are adjured by St. Paul to don the arms of Christ if the occasion warrants.
Metaphorical arms, the breastplate of righteousness and the helmet of salvation. Do you mean metaphorical arms?
He shall flee the iron weapon, and the balls of steel shall strike him through.
I see.
Sir Thomas, excuse me, sir. His Grace the Duke of Norfolk. It's all over, sir.
One moment, Robert. I will do this. Sir Thomas, whoa! Confused.
Oh, sir, it was just a personal visit. I was trying to borrow a book, but I couldn't find it. Then I leave you. Gentlemen?
My lady. Sir Thomas.
I will do this one. The Cabocaneans knocked it under, Thomas. They are to pay a fine of £100,000, and we have severed the connection with Rome.
A connection with Rome is nice.
Your Grace, this is quite certain, is it not?
Yes, Thomas, it's a funny company. Senor Chapuz.
It's quite unintentional. He doesn't mean to be funny. Help me with this.
The time.
Shall I, sir?
No, thank you, Will. Meg, will you?
If you want.
There's my clever girl.
Why, Thomas? Why? Make me understand, because I will take you now from here I am stand. That this looks like a cowardice.
All right. I will. This isn't Reformation. This is war on the church. Our King Norfolk has declared war on the Pope because the Pope will not declare that our Queen is not his wife.
And is she?
I'll answer that for one person only, the King.
Okay.
Or that in private too.
Okay. We are at war with the Pope, and the Pope is a prince, is not he?
He is.
And a bad one.
Bad enough. But the theory is also that he's the vicar of God, the descendant of St. Peter, our only link with Christ.
Does this make sense? You will forfeit all you have, which includes the respect of your country.
For a theory, the apostolic succession of the Pope is... Why, yes. It's a theory. Can't see it, can't touch it. It's a theory. But what matters to me is not whether it's true or not, but that I believe it to be true. Or not that I believe it, but that I believe it. I trust I make myself obscure.
Yes, perfect.
Good. Obscurity is what I have need of now.
This is not Spain, Thomas, you know.
Have I your word that what we say here is between you and me and has no existence beyond these walls?
Very well.
And if the king should command you to repeat my words,
I shall keep my word to you.
then what has become of your oath of obedience to the king?
You lay plans for me!
No, I show you the times.
Why did you insult me with these lawyer tricks?
Because I'm afraid.
And here's your answer. The king accepts your resignation very solemnly.
You will convey my humble gratitude.
I will.
Oh, Howard! Senor Chapuz just tells me he's made a tour of the north. He thinks that we shall have trouble there. So do I.
What kind of trouble?
The church, the old church, not the new church, is very strong up there. I'm serious, Howard. Keep an eye on the border this next spring, and bear in mind the old alliance.
We will, we do. But thank you for the information. It's good to know you have some vestige of patriotism.
It's a remarkably stupid observation, Norfolk.
So there's the end of you. What will you do now?
No, I'll read a little. I'll read, I'll fish. I think I'll write a bit. I'll play with my grandchildren when son Rope has done his duty.
Sir, the household is in the kitchen. They want to know what's happened.
Yes. They'll mostly have to go, I'm afraid. But not before we found them places. What about you, Matthew? It'll be a smaller household now, and I'm afraid a smaller wage. Will you stay?
Don't see how I could then, sir.
You're single.
Yes, sir, but I've got my own...
Quite right. Why should you? I shall miss you, Matthew.
No. You never had much time for me, sir. You see right through me, sir. I know that.
I shall miss you, Matthew. I shall miss you.
Damn me. Isn't that them all over? Miss? He missed me? What's in me for him to miss? I almost fell for it! Will you kindly take a cut in your wages, Matthew? No, Sir Thomas, I will not! Not take! I'm not doing it!
He's down on his luck.
I'm sorry. I don't mind saying that, I'm sorry. If I had any good luck to spare, you could have some. I wish we all could have good luck all the time. I wish we had wings. I wish rainwater was beer, but it's not. What with not having wings? Walking on two flat feet.
Good and bad luck being just
Exactly even. Stevens and rain being water. Don't you complicate the job by putting things in for me to miss. I did, you know? I almost fell for it.
Well, I'm Margaret. Drover, is that you?
Sir Thomas, there's a gentleman here from Hampton Court. You're to go before Secretary Cromwell to answer certain charges.
That's all right. We expected that. When?
Now,
That's just technique. Well, I suppose now means now.
Can I come with you?
Why, there's no need. I'll be home before dinner. I'll invite Cromwell to dinner. Serve him right. Come along now. Let's get going.
I'm sorry to invite you here at such short notice, Sir Thomas. Good of you to come. Will you take a seat? I think you know Master Rich.
Yes, we're old friends.
Master Rich will keep a record of our conversation.
Good of you to tell me, Master Secretary.
Believe me, Sir Thomas. No, that's asking too much, but let me tell you all the same, you're no more sincere admirer than myself.
I understand,
Not yet, Rich.
I understand that there are certain charges.
Some ambiguities of behavior I should like to clarify. Hardly charges.
Make a note of that, Richard. There are no charges.
You amaze me, Sir Thomas. The king is not happy with you.
I am grieved.
Yet, Do you know that if you could bring yourself to agree with the universities, the bishops, and the parliament of this realm, there is no honor which the king would be likely to deny you.
I'm well acquainted with his grace's generosity.
Very well. You have heard of the so-called Holy Maid of Kent, who was executed for prophesying against the king.
Yes, I knew the poor woman.
You sympathize with her.
She was ignorant and misguided. Naturally, I sympathize with her.
You admit meeting her. You met her, and yet you did not warn the king of her treason.
Our conversation was not political.
My dear Moore, the woman was notorious. You expect me to believe that?
Happily, there were witnesses.
You wrote a letter to her.
Yes, I wrote to her suggesting that she abstain from meddling in the affairs of princes and state. I have a copy of this letter, also witnessed.
Sir Thomas, there is a more serious charge.
Charge?
For want of a better word. In the May of 1526, the king published a book. A theological work. The book, published under the king's name, would be more accurate. You wrote that book.
I wrote no part of it.
I do not mean that you actually held the pen.
I merely answered questions on canon law that were put to me by the king, as I was bound to do. These are trivial, Master Cromwell.
Should not think so if I were in your case.
These charges you have are an empty cupboard to frighten children in the dark. Not me.
Not empty. For the moment, there is this. I charge you with great ingratitude. I remind you of many benefits graciously given and ill received. I tell you that no king of England ever had, nor could have, nor villainous a servant, nor so traitorous a subject as yourself. The words are not mine, Sir Thomas, but the king's. Believe that.
I do. I recognize the style. And so you have brought me here at last.
What? You brought yourself to where you stand now?
Yes. In another sense, I was brought.
Oh, yes. You may go home now. For the present.
Still think you can frighten him?
Oh, yes.
What will you do?
Whatever's necessary. The king is a man of conscience, and he wants either Sir Thomas More to bless his marriage, or Sir Thomas More destroyed.
They seem odd alternatives.
Do they? That's because you're not a man of conscience. If the king destroys a man, that's proof to the king that it must have been a bad man. The kind of man a man of conscience ought to destroy. And a bad man's blessing's not worth having, so either will do.
I see.
There's no going back, Rich. I find we've made ourselves the keepers of this conscience. And it's ravenous.
Boat? Boat? A boatman? Boat? Come along now, it's not that bad. Boat?
Father?
Margaret?
Do you know, sir? Have you heard? Have you told him?
We've been looking for you, Father.
There's to be a new act through Parliament, sir.
Act?
Yes, about the marriage, sir.
Oh?
Father, by this act, they're going to administer an oath.
An oath? On what compulsion?
It's expected to be treason, sir.
What is the oath?
It's about the marriage, sir.
But what is the wording?
We don't need to know the wording. We know what it will mean.
An oath is made up of words. It may be possible to take it or avoid it. Have we a copy of this bill?
There's one coming out from the city.
Well, then let's get home and study it. Oh, I've no boat. Let's get home.
But sir,
Listen here, Will. You too, Meg. You know I know you well. God made the angels to show his splendor, as he made the animals for innocence and the plants for their simplicity. But man he made wittily, in the tangle of his mind. If he suffers us to fall to such a case that there is no escaping, then we stand best to our tackle, and yes, Will, then we may clamor like champions. We have the spittle for it. And no doubt it delights God to see splendor where he only looks for complexity. But to bring ourselves to that extremity, it's God's part, not our own. Our natural business lies in escaping. So let's get home and study this bill.
Commission after commission of high officials, puppets of His Royal Highness, besieged Sir Thomas to convince him to swear the oath, to recognize King Henry VIII, head of the Church of England, and to accept his divorce with Lady Catherine. Sir Thomas, however, was a strong fortress, and his walls were the law. The same law would bring Sir Thomas to his death. All the same, they tried, and they tried. Even Margaret tried.
Secretary,
Yes?
Sir Redvers Laughlin has retired.
Uh-huh.
Attorney General of Wales, his post is vacant. You said I might approach you.
Oh, not now. He must submit. The alternatives are bad. While Moore's alive, the king's conscience brings him the fresh stinking flowers every time he gets from bed. And if I bring about Moore's death, I plant my own, I think. There's no other good solution. He must submit. No. The king will not permit it. He must find some gentler way.
Sir Thomas! Wake up, Sir Thomas! Your family's here!
What? What's this? Meg? You can visit me? Meg! Surely they've not put you in here with me?
No, sir. Just a visit. Sure.
Let me out, please.
Yes, sir. I'm allowed to let you out.
Thank you. Oh, Meg.
Good
Meg.
evening.
Good evening.
Oh, what an awful place. It drips from the ceiling.
Yes, it's too near the river.
Well, I brought you some things. Some cheese and a custard.
Custard?
These other things, a bottle of wine from Roper, and...
Well?
Father, come out! Swear to the oath and come out!
That's why they've let you in here.
Yes, I'm under oath to persuade you.
Well, that was silly, Meg. How'd you come to do that?
I wanted to.
You wanted me to swear to the act of succession.
God more regards the thoughts of the heart than the words of the mouth. Or so you've always told me.
Yes?
Then say the words of the oath and in your heart think otherwise.
What is an oath but words we say to God?
That's very neat.
Do you mean it isn't true?
No, it's true.
Then it's a poor argument to call it neat, Meg. When a man takes an oath, it's like he's holding himself in his own hands, like water. And if he opens his fingers, he needn't hope of finding himself again. Some men are capable of this, Meg, but I'd be loath to think your father one of them.
In any state that was half good, you'd be raised up high, not here, for what you've done already. It's not your fault the state's 3/4 bad. Then, if you elect yourself to suffer for it, you elect yourself the hero.
That's neat. But look now. If virtue is profitable, then common sense would make us good. And greed would make us saintly. And we'd live like angels or animals in a happy land that needs no heroes. But since, in fact, we see that avarice, anger, sloth, envy, pride, lust, and stupidity profit far beyond humility, chastity, fortitude, thought, justice, and have to choose to be human at all, why, then perhaps we must stand fast a little, even at the risk of being heroes.
Oh, but in reason, haven't you done as much as God can reasonably want?
Well, finally, Meg, it isn't a matter of reason. Finally, it's a matter of love. Of course, if they'd open up a crack that wide, I'd be through it. But so it is.
I've not yet told you what the house is like without you.
Don't, Meg.
What we do in the evenings now that you're not there.
Meg, have done!
We sit in the dark because we've no candles, and we've no talk because we're busy wondering what they do to you here, and...
The king is more merciful than you, Meg. He doesn't use the rack.
2 minutes, sir. Thought you'd like to know.
2 minutes?
7 o'clock, sir. Sorry.
Oh, confound it. Look now, you must go. You must go, all of you, on a different boat. Different boats from different ports.
And if you're here?
Doesn't matter, Meg. They won't let you see me again.
After the trial, then?
There'll be no trial, Meg. They'll have no case. Do this for me, I beseech you.
Yes.
Time's up, sir. Sorry.
But you said 7 o'clock!
It's 7 now, sir.
But 1 more minute.
Oh, just a little while. Give us a little while.
Get your father into trouble as well as me.
For God's sake, man, we're saying goodbye.
You understand my position, sir. There's nothing I can do. I'm a plain, simple man, just want to keep out of trouble. You don't know how you're being watched.
Sweet Jesus! These plain, simple men!
Canvas and the rigging of the law. Forbidden here the galley master's whip. Hearts of oak and the law's great ship. Where are you going?
Finished it, sir.
You're the foreman of the jury.
Yes, sir.
You are John Dauncey, a general dealer.
Yes, sir.
Foreman of the jury. Does the cap fit?
Yes, sir. So now we'll apply the good plain sailor's art and fix these quicksands on the law's plain chart.
Sir Thomas More, you're called before us here at the Hall of Westminster to answer charge of high treason. Nevertheless, and though you have offended the King's Majesty, we hope if you will even now to repent and think about your obstinate opinions, you may still face his gracious pardon.
My lords, I thank you. Howbeit, make my appeal to Almighty God, that he will keep me in this, my honest mind, to the last hour that I shall live. As for the charges you bring against me, I fear from my present weakness that neither my wit nor my memory will serve to make sufficient answers. I shall be glad to sit down.
Be easy. Master Secretary Cromwell, do you have the charge?
I have, my lord.
Then read the charge.
That you did conspire traitorously and maliciously to deny and deprive our liege lord of his undoubted certain title, Supreme Head of the Church of England.
I never denied this title.
You refused the oath tendered to you at the Tower and elsewhere.
Silence is not denial. And for my silence I am punished with imprisonment. Why have you brought me here?
On a charge of high treason.
For which the punishment is not imprisonment.
Death comes for us all, my lords. It's even for kings it comes, who amidst all their royalty and brute strength, it will neither kneel nor pay any reverence, nor presently desire them to come forth, but will grasp them roughly by their very breast and rattle them till they be stark dead, so causing their bodies to be buried in a pit and sending them to judgment, whereof at their death the success is uncertain.
Treason enough here.
The death of the kings is not in question, Sir Thomas.
Nor mine, I trust.
Your life lies in your own hands, as it always has.
Our deaths, my lord, yours and mine. Dare we for shame enter the kingdom when our Christ entered with so much pain?
Now, Sir Thomas, you stand upon your silence.
I do.
But, judgment of the jury, there are many kinds of silence. Consider first the silence of a man when he is dead. It means nothing. But consider another case. Suppose I were to draw a dagger from my sleeve and make to kill the prisoner. And suppose their lordships there, instead of crying out for me to stop, or crying out for help to stop me, maintain their silence. That would mean a willingness for it to happen, and they would be guilty with me. The prisoner's silence against many faithful countrymen represents clear denial.
No. The maxim of the law is silence gives consent. You cannot construe that I deny.
Do you pretend that is what you wish the world to construe from it?
The world must construe according to its wits. This court must construe according to the law.
I put it to the court that the prisoner is perverting the law.
The law is not some light for you or any other man to see by. The law is not an instrument of any kind. The law is a causeway upon which, so long as he keeps to it, a citizen may walk safely. May I help the king by telling him lies when he asks for truths? Can I help England by populating her with liars?
My lords, I wish to call Sir Richard Rich. Sir Richard.
I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
So help me God. Sir Richard.
So help me God.
Okay, you'll stand there, Sir Richard.
Now, Rich, on the 12th of March, you were at the tower.
Yes,
With what purpose?
I was sent to carry away the prisoner's books.
Did you speak with the prisoner?
Yes,
Did you speak of the king's supremacy of the church?
yes.
What did you say?
I said, supposing there was an act of Parliament that said that I, Richard Rich, should be king, would not you, Master More, then take me for king? That I said he would, for then you would be king. Then he said,
The prisoner?
yes, my lord. He said, but I will put you a higher case. How if there were an act of Parliament that said that God should not be God?
This is true, and then you
Silence! Continue, Sir Richard.
And I said, but I will put you a middle case. Parliament has said that our king is head of the church. Why will you not accept him?
What?
He said, Parliament had not the power to do it.
And you repeat the prisoner's words?
He said, Parliament had not the competence. Or words to that effect.
He denied the title.
He did.
In good faith, Richard. I'm sorrier for your perjury than I am my peril.
You deny this?
Yes! My lords, if I were a man who heeded not the taking of an oath, you very well know I should not be here. Now I will take an oath. What Master Rich has said here is true, then I pray I may never see God in the face again. Which it would not be true were it anything on earth.
That is not evidence.
Is it probable? Is it probable that after so long a silence on such a matter, the very point so urgently sought of me, that I should open my mind to a man such as that?
Do you wish to modify your testimony?
No, Secretary.
There were two other men, Southwell and Palmer.
Unhappily, Sir Richard Southwell and Master Palmer are in Ireland on the king's business. It has no bearing. I have their deposition here, in which the court will see. They say that being busy with the prisoner's books, they did not hear what was said.
Is it not clear that if this truly had happened, he would have not called these two men to witness instantly?
Sir Richard, is there anything you would like to add?
Nothing.
Sir Thomas?
What purpose? I'm a dead man. You had your desire of me. What you have hunted me for is not my actions, but the thoughts of my heart. The long road you have opened. But first, men will disclaim their hearts, and presently they will have no hearts. God bless the men whose statesmen walk your road.
Then the witness may withdraw.
I have one question for the witness. It's a chain of office you wear. May I see it? The Red Dragon. What's that?
Sir Richard has been appointed Attorney General for Wales.
For Wales? Why, Richard, it benefits man nothing to sell his soul for the whole world. But for Wales?
I must ask the court's indulgence. I have a message for the prisoner from the king. Sir Thomas, I'm empowered to tell you that even now...
No. It cannot be.
The case rests, my lord.
So, the jury will retire and consider the evidence.
Considering the evidence, it shouldn't be necessary for them to retire. Is it necessary?
No, sir.
So, is the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, my lord.
Prisoner at the bar, you have been found guilty of the charge of high treason. The sentence of the court...
My lord, when I was practicing law, The manner was to ask the prisoner if he had anything to say before pronouncing sentence.
Have you anything to say?
Yes. To avoid this, I have taken every path my winding wits would find. Now that the court has determined to condemn me, God knowing how, I will discharge my mind concerning my indictment and the king's title. The king's title is grounded in an act that is directly repugnant to the law of God. The king cannot bestow the supremacy of the church because it is a spiritual supremacy. More to this, the immunity of the church is promised both in Magna Carta and the king's own coronation oath.
Now we clearly see that you are malicious.
Not so, Master Secretary. I am the king's true subject, and I pray for him and all the realm. I do none harm, I say none harm, I think none harm. And if this be not enough to keep a man alive, in good faith I long not to live. There's been several moments while I was in prison that I thought to die within the hour. And I thank our Lord I was never sorry for it, but rather sorry when it passed. And so my body is weak, at the king's pleasure. My God, my death might do him some good. Nevertheless, it is not for the supremacy you have sought my blood, but because I am not bent to the marriage!
You have been found guilty of the charge of high treason. The sentence of the court is that should be taken from this court to the tower, thence to the place of execution. And there your hair shall be stricken from your body, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I can come harder, Thomas. Bring this.
My master had wine and had easel and gall offered to him to drink. Not wine. Let me be going.
Father?
Margaret! Margaret!
Father!
Margaret! Have patience, and trouble not thyself. Death comes for us all, even at our births. Even at our births, death does but stand aside a little, and muses somewhat to itself, whether this day or the next it will draw nigh. It is the law of nature, and the will of God. You have long known the secrets of my heart.
Sir Thomas, remember me? When you were judge, you gave a false judgment against me. Remember that now.
Woman, see how I am occupied. I remember your matter well. If I had to proclaim sentence now, I should not alter it. You had no injury, so go your way, and let me be. I beseech your grace, stand back. Friend, you're not afraid of your office. You send me to God.
Are you very sure of that, Sir Thomas?
You will not deny one who is so blithe to go to him.
Behold the head of a traitor!
I'm still breathing. Are you? It's nice, isn't it? It's not difficult to stay alive, friends. Just don't make trouble. Or, if you must make trouble, make the sort of trouble that's expected. Well, I don't need to tell you this. Good night. If we should run into one another, recognize me.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone who was able to make it here. Thank you for all of those back home and who are watching it online. It means a lot to us. I hope that you've been able to learn something about the great life of St. Thomas More, and we really appreciate your support. Here in Spain, it is good night. In America, it's good afternoon. Regardless, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Oh,